In this installment, we're going to be going over the Thursday night football showdown slate on DraftKings between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for our Thursday night football showdown slate on DraftKings between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. We have an AFC West battle here, but before I deep dive into this very intriguing slate, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShitsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about the Patreon. I'm gonna touch on that very soon, but right now we are at the homepage of the YouTube. We are currently at 1.5 thousand subscribers. Thank you for keeping us above the threshold, and we are bringing in solid numbers on each and every video. I appreciate you guys. If you are currently viewing this video and you're not currently a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now. And for the Patreon, we had a phenomenal day in NBA on Tuesday night. As you can see, my top plays here. I gave you each play that was tiered. I had Mavericks plus 2.5. Suns money line was a tier 2. Bulls plus 7.5 tier 2, and Clippers tier 1 a money line as well. So these plays right here, it was almost a sweep if you went with the Bulls 7.5. I do encourage you guys to add a few points here and there, especially on certain matchups. And we smashed it. We absolutely destroyed it on Tuesday for NBA. As you can see, Suns money line came through. This one, I took the money lines of Dallas, Phoenix, and the Clippers, which I already gave out, but I just went with some smart plays. Grant Williams, plus 10 points for Dallas. Yusuf Nurkic, 15 points for Phoenix, and then Kawhi Leonard. Very simple. A little bit over with the plus money there, and that all came through. $5 for 177.99. And then we had, these are the plays I gave, and obviously I added a few points there for the Chicago Bulls, and that came through, okay? That was $24.91. And then also Todd came through with the same plays. I gave it to the Chicago Bulls. He added points. This is what you do. So you can have smart bets that can win. $4 for $33. Good job, Todd. Thank you for joining the Patreon. All right, so guys, you are missing out. Go ahead and go to that link provided down below and get into the Patreon and get into these winning bets. All right, let's get into the injury report. Now, starting off in this injury report with the Las Vegas Raiders, I wanted to wait a little bit more to get more news because we got some big guys that are going to be highly questionable here. But hey, it's time to get it out. We will adjust when the news does come out. All right. So right now, the DNPs, Colton Miller, he's trending towards being out there starting tackle. Andre James has 2 DNPs. Josh Jacobs has 2 DNPs, and Max Crosby has 2 DNPs. So big key components here for the Las Vegas Raiders, especially Max Crosby, and for our lineups for Josh Jacobs. All right. We're going to find out news a little bit later if he's going to practice on Wednesday. If he does not come in with a limited, if he misses yet again, that's going to be Zamir White. That's going to be the #1 running back for the Las Vegas Raiders in this plus matchup going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. All right. So that's where we switch on to that if Josh Jacobs is out. So everyone else is fine on that offense. They're going to make a decision on starting quarterback if it's going to be Aiden O'Connell again, or they might go back to Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, so stay tuned to that as well. A lot of news here that we have to wait and see. All right, for the Chargers, big news here. Keenan Allen. Hopefully he can get in a limited practice here on Wednesday. This is a veteran. He did come up with a heel injury. That's why he did not go through walkthroughs on Tuesday. Anyone else? Deion Leonard, he's trending towards being out. Everyone else is fine. So we're really waiting on news with Keenan Allen. Obviously, there's no Justin Herbert, so it's going to be Easton Stick that's going to be throwing the football to Keenan Allen. And we do have good news on Joshua Palmer. So they get some help in the wide receiver core for the Chargers. Joshua Palmer comes off the IR, and he is back in with the wide receiver core. Hopefully Keenan Allen can get eliminated on Wednesday. We're going to wait and see on that. Let's get into the captains. Now for the captain position, I'm going to start things off at the running back spot here. And I think the best play on the board is going to be any running back out of Las Vegas. So we know we're waiting on news about Josh Jacobs. So it's either going to be Josh Jacobs or Zamir White. Okay. Obviously, once this news comes out, there's going to be ownership change on Zamir White, obviously. But Zamir White right now is all the way down here at 4,500. His ownership is going to change if Josh Jacobs is out. All right. This product out of Georgia has 4.3 speed, has tons of capabilities, can run and catch the football as well. All right. So the reason why I like him so much, just on the board, fantasy points allowed to opposing running backs, the Los Angeles Chargers, 25th overall, 10th in the red zone. They've been giving up 112 rushing yards per game, 4.7 yards a carry, 0.8 touchdowns a game. They've been giving up 45 yards receiving to opposing running backs and about 5 catches as well. So across the board, this is a great spot here for either option at that running back position. Zamir White, if he gets the opportunity, or if Josh Jacobs comes up healthy, it's going to be him. All right, maybe they want to see a little bit more out of Zamir White because this is the end of the season. They're not playing for playoff positioning. Maybe they want to get a little idea of what White can provide and bring to the table. So that's going to be another aspect there. That's why we're waiting on news. So love Zamir White or Josh Jacobs at that captain spot. All right, next guy we can consider here is going to be Austin Ekeler. All right, Austin Ekeler is going to be a guy we can go towards with the injury to Justin Herbert. All right, it's Easton Stick at the quarterback position, and now this offense, despite the fact Austin Ekeler has been struggling this year, he's had very, very poor performances this year. This is all they got. All right. Austin Ekeler has been leaned upon just a little bit more. As you can see, he had 10 for 51 against Denver and saw 5 receptions, 7 targets. He's going to be a guy that's going to get utilized a lot just to ease things for their quarterback in Easton Stick. All right, a couple more dump-off passes, a couple more screens, and obviously utilizing him in that running game. All right, it's going to be a little bit more important if they want to move the football. Austin Ekeler becomes a focal point. So I like him there. If you're looking at fantasy points allowed to opposing running backs, the Raiders have been strong the past 4 to 5 weeks, 12th overall, but 25th in the red zone. They've been giving up more touchdowns to running backs in the red zone. So that's where you can see Austin Ekeler come through in that aspect. All right, let's continue to go down the list of captains. Devonta Adams can be an option. It's a hit or miss here. All right, we need him to really pop off and get in the end zone. He's still seeing a solid amount of targets here, 10, 7, 13, and 13. But this is with Aiden O'Connell, right? Earlier in the season, it was a couple more games that he struggled with Jimmy Garoppolo. So we're going to wait on and see if it's going to be Jimmy G or it's going to be Aiden O'Connell. I think he's better with Aiden O'Connell. And then if Jimmy G is the quarterback, that bodes well for Jacoby Myers. All right, this is where Jacoby Myers lives, in that intermediate range, and this is where you saw the Jacoby Myers games that he went off. 29 against Denver, 20 against Green Bay, 17 against New England, 18 against Chicago. That's where you saw those pop-off games. It was with Jimmy G connecting with Jacoby Myers at a very high rate. So he could be back on the board here, having another productive game if Jimmy G gets named the starting quarterback. So both of these guys are going to be on the list. All right, Jacoby Myers and Devonta Adams, they have so much talent. They're going to be on the list as captain plays. All right, we're waiting on news for quarterbacks for the Las Vegas Raiders. Please be patient on that. If either one of these guys, if it's Aiden O'Connell or if it's Jimmy G, these guys are going to be flex plays. Just want to let you know right now. All right, so we're solidifying them in the flex area. For Easton Stick, same scenario. We're putting him in the flex play. None of these quarterbacks deserve to be in that captain spot. Okay, they do not provide rushing ability as well. So that's another reason why. All right, if they're not going to set themselves apart, then they're going to be flex plays, okay? So we'll put Jacoby Myers in there with Devonta Adams. And then Keenan Allen, we are waiting on news for Keenan Allen. He has had a phenomenal year this season. And even with the injury to Justin Herbert, he still got 12 targets in that game, 6 catches for 68 yards. That's a solid sight to see. We just need him to get in the end zone to pay off his salary. But this is a guy that's still going to get double-digit fantasy targets, okay? So don't be too shy away from Keenan Allen here. When you're talking about backup quarterbacks, the number one wide receiver tends to be fine, all right? He's going to get his. It's the second and third options that tend to wean off, all right? These guys don't pop up because the backup quarterback doesn't really get to the second or third options as consistently as the starter. All right, so Keenan Allen is going to be in the mix at captain as well. All right, we're going to move on to the flex plays and get in deeper to some of these cheaper salary guys. For the flex plays, we're going to kick things off right off the bat here, just talking about defense and kicker, just really quick. Both on both sides are viable. Dicker, Carlson for the kicker position, both are going to be viable, and both defenses, okay? The reason why I said both defenses, because you have Easton Stick on one side, and you got either Aiden O'Connell or Jimmy Garoppolo on the other. You have liabilities everywhere, okay? Turnovers could be galore in this game, and these guys on both sides of the football for the Chargers and Raiders can take advantage of these scenarios. They have talented enough players in defense that can make fumbles, create interceptions, and create opportunities to score points. All right. For the Raiders defense, it sucks to see. Hopefully Max Crosby is going to be fine. Maybe that's just a little bit veteran, a veteran off day for him. But that's the heart and soul of that Raiders defense. That's the only concern if you go that Raiders route, if Max Crosby isn't in. Other than that, I'm trusting the defenses more than I'm trusting these quarterbacks. That's why I already said Easton Stick or Aiden O'Connell or Jimmy Garoppolo. These are clear-cut flex options, all right? But other than that, the defenses have some upside here, which could be in another low-scoring environment. In this game, we saw that Raiders game last week. It was 3 points total in that game, okay? Chargers, 2 weeks ago, it was a game of only 6 points. So we could see a very ugly matchup here in this game, okay? Now, some other guys we can look at that flex option. We do have Joshua Palmer coming back in the fold. He could get a decent amount of targets here with Easton Stick. Trying to create some offense here. So I wouldn't mind going that route for Joshua Palmer. He's the number 2 wide receiver in this offense, and they clearly need it because Quentin Johnston has struggled. Even though he had a solid game against Denver, 3 for 91, he has not played well at all this year, had a lot of drops so far this season. But he is coming off back-to-back games of over double-digit fantasy points, 10.2 and 12.1. That's the bright side here. Maybe with Joshua Palmer coming back in the fold, that helps him put a little bit less pressure off his shoulders, and maybe hopefully he can shine in a game that he needs to. He really needs to. This is a high draft capital wide receiver that they went after, and he has disappointed this year. All right. Now with this team, we're seeing if Joshua Kelly gets more carries. He really didn't. It's just the Austin Eckler show, okay? So we'll stick with Austin Eckler. We're not going to go that route of Joshua Kelly just to see if they want to run the football a little bit more with the injury to Justin Herbert. As we can continue to go down the list here, Gerald Everett is their starting tight end. He had an okay game, I want to say, last week, but he did see the second most amount of targets here, 8 targets there. It was a good matchup against the Denver Broncos. And now we're going up against the Las Vegas Raiders here. It's going to have to be Easton Stick dump-off passes here for Gerald Everett. He can be in the mix there. All right. Let's see if we find some other options on the Las Vegas side. I mentioned Myers and Adams on the offensive side of the ball, and obviously Josh Jacobs or Zamir White. If we're going anywhere past that, Michael Mayer is an option at the tight end position. He hasn't really gone off yet. He had his best game against the Jets in Week 10. But other than that, he's just getting a few targets here and there. He's supposed to be guy out of Notre Dame, supposed to have some high upside here. It's just not the right connection with this quarterback in this offense right now. Things aren't clicking, and he's pretty much a third to fourth option. So we're going to stay away from Michael Mayer there. And if we're going to look at anyone below that, Hunter Renfrow, he can be a guy that can get a few catches here and there, that can win in short yardage opportunities. That also bodes well with it, more of a Jimmy Garoppolo type of quarterback who tends to throw in that short to intermediate route just a little bit more. So that's why I like Jacoby Myers. All right, but Hunter Renfrow, not a love. Definitely is a bottom flex play there, and I don't want to go any cheaper than that. So this is going to be a very ugly slate. I just want to say that right now. We don't have clarity on quarterback. We don't have clarity on wide receiver, on Keenan Allen. And we don't have clarity on running back as well. So this is more of a wait and see. This should be more of a defensive matchup here with these poor quarterback play on the board. So if we're going to with definite plays, 3 definite plays in this lineup build, number 1 is going to be the running back position for the Las Vegas Raiders. That's either going to be Jacobs or White. So either one of those two. Next option would be Austin Eckler. Eckler is a love. So I love running backs in this game here. Both of these guys get utilized rushing and receiving. That's why we're going to go towards them. And then last but not least, you choose your favorite defense. All right. Defenses and kickers are going to be a love in this lineup build. You choose if you want to go with the Chargers or you want to go with the Raiders. Maybe you could go with both, because both of these quarterbacks on both sides of the football absolutely suck. All right, we could see turnovers back and forth, just wild and crazy plays that we've been seeing from both of these teams in the past few weeks. All right, do not like offense. I don't like much of the wide receiver position. If Keenan Allen is healthy, he is going to get majority of targets, and that's why you can consider him as a play as well. All right, so I broke things down for you inch by inch. Just stay to that injury report, wait on news on that, and then we can maneuver and figure out your lineups from there. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with another video very soon. All right, peace out.